Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, this music always pumps me up so much. YouTube, how are you doing today? Welcome back to the stream. If it's your first time, welcome here. Pleasure to see you. This is your #1 spot on the internet for inspiration and good vibe. We're gonna make art today. I'm gonna be continuing this painting, which is taking way too long, let's be honest about it. But you're welcome to work on whatever you feel like. In the meantime, the idea of this community is sharing inspiration, sharing good vibes, and you know, just having fun. Hello Balsam, hello Atelier, hello Cody, Lindy. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So spring is finally here in France, so that's pretty cool. Like actual spring came in late, but we have a bit of sun, you know, nice, cozy, you know, spring, sunny weather. So that's cool, and super hyped to be painting as usual. Maybe the last time when I painted so many flowers, I made the spring come back. So hello everybody, and let's do this. So, how is everybody doing today? I'm just checking on the music. What do we have here? I'm just listening to see if the music is okay. Okay, let's try with this. Evening from the UK, Susan, Jay, Liam from Brazil. Hello Brazil, hello UK. Everybody here, welcome. Let me know where you're from. And let's start this painting. I don't think I have any special announcement or anything, but yeah, just good vibes, chill vibes. So as you can see, this guy is finally not red anymore. Initially I thought about painting this guy with a strong red light emanating from this side, but I ended up changing my mind about it. So it's not like that anymore. It's more, you know, normal colors. So yeah, no more cigarettes. Yeah, last time I had lots of people mentioned that, hey, look, like this guy has a cigarette, so it doesn't anymore, and this cigarette hand has been replaced by this hand. So it's in the theme. I'm gonna try to unlock my arm here. So there's this machine here, and because it's still the theme, a modern version of the Nineteenth. So this would be the barrel of the Nineteenth, like a modern barrel. So all the women, they pour their whatever liquid in the barrel, and then there's this kind of weird machine. I don't know if you can see really well, but and there's water here. So I figured, well, let's put water in this hand. So creating effects was pretty cool. I had to figure out, basically this is my hand. I used my own hand as a model, and but I had to figure out how to make, you know, the texture, how to make it feel like the droplets, the texture. I'm try to zoom in a bit so that you can see. How does it look? yeah, so I pretty much had to improvise for that based on several reference pictures. And that's what I'm going to talk about actually in this episode. I'm going to talk about coming up with your own, like coming up with references or working from imagination. How do you make a sort of a mix of both? It's still not perfect, it's still stuff to do, but and yeah, I need to do the second hand was also not good, so I changed this one as well. Here it is. So this one is more in progress, so that's kind of how it looks, kind of a before and after. And before it was really in a different position. So typically hands is really something where you can use your own how to say, use your own references. Definitely easy to find your references for hands. Hola, Bogotá, Colombia. ¿Cómo estás? Sorry, this is the full extent of my Spanish knowledge. So, yeah, not much more I can say in Spanish, which is unfortunate. All right. So for this episode, I wanted to work on this dude here because the face needs a bit more. The face here needs more care and love, because I've just so today basically the program of my day was to undo all the stuff that I've been doing before. So I first had the initial idea to put this guy and give this whole side of the painting a very strong kind of red spotlight. And even in my modeling, I actually had a very strong light. I'm going to show you here. I can show you this. Look at how I did was I used myself to pose. I cut the pose, which is something I often do. And as you can see, I had a very strong like red light and a red LED light from this side, but I don't want it anymore. So I try to, just change the color. That's how I usually do when I'm trying to use Photoshop. Like a lot of people ask me if I use digital tools and all. And yeah, absolutely. I use photography, I use digital tools, I use a mix of everything, and but mostly photos. And I mostly make very bad very bad cropping for my figures. I just place them next to each other, like for example, I would say, hey, let's put this one higher, let's put this one lower, and then I'll use the reference just for how does the lighting looks. And once I have this, I try to change the features to make, for example, to change the face, change the character, make the nose slightly bigger, make the, change it. So here I have to double change it because, well, I'm gonna keep the character as it is, but I had to, I think it's still fresh, so you can still see it underneath. If I scratch, you can see the red is popping up. It used to be red much more than this. See, it's all underneath, it's all still full red. You can see how it was super red, because it was my original idea, but as I often do, I change my mind. So now I have to finish this retouching. And yeah, I'm not worried about what I just did here because this is exactly what I'm working on. So of course it's not a problem. Like, I'm just doing it, so I don't mind scratching it a bit just to show you. So I'm gonna pull this a little bit closer to me so that I can see my stuff more. I'm gonna try to not put my head right in the middle, as I often do. No, why scratch? Also turn on the comments. Yes, I have no comments. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, no screenshot, I'm sorry. My bad. Cordial saludo, maestro desde Bogotá, Colombia. Cordial saludo desde Francia. Francia? Aha! There you go. And hello, Steven. Well, that's a problem between you and yourself, Steven. So Steven is our bot, if you are not aware. Okay, let me put half my face. Oh. Again, the raise one, Steven. Just start a union. Start unionizing. You can hear Steven? Oh, okay, so maybe, well, why can't you hear Steven? Strange. Okay. Maybe it's not important, but now you're going to ask for Steven, so... Oh, yeah.
The stream from time to time when you people are not sending me requests.
There it is. There it is. It was muted.
This is a test message.
Oh, that's Steven's wife.
This is a test message.
Hello. Who are you?
This is a test message.
Oh, that's Steven.
This is a test message.
Oh my god. This is what living with bots is. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be surrounded by bots mostly. And they're going to Stephanie, Steven's wife. There's the lore. I like it. We're going to be surrounded by bots, and they are the one that are going to be keeping us company. Stevena? Do you think Steven Steph? So we have to come up with the lore so that I can integrate Stephanie in the in the big lore. So we have some returning characters, like we have Jeff already. Who else? We have Steven, of course. I like that Stephanie has a French accent. Let me check it back. It's absolutely hilarious.
This is a test message. My name is Stephanie. Nice to meet you. Sure.
I love that Stephanie is French. Listen to that. Yeah. So where would Stephanie give me the hometown of Stephanie? She's from a small French village. You decide on the name of the village. Okay, let's try it.
Yes, I am French, I am from Atelier village named Montcuq.
That's
Yes,
hilarious.
I am French, I am from
I am
Atelier village
French.
named.
She's so French.
Montcuq.
Stephanie is just so French. She's hilarious. That doesn't sound really French.
Yes, I am French, I am from Atelier village named Bâton.
Nice. She really does speak French. Let's try. Let's try actually. I think she's a French bot. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Stéphanie, je suis une beau.
Une bot, Stephanie, une bot. Yeah, she's really French. She's really made for French speaking only. So that's absolutely hilarious to make her talk, to make her speak English.
Les gens qui parlent en français, ils ont tellement de charisme.
Stéphanie's from Vive la France. I am from Vive la France.
I am from Vive-la, France.
Okay, let's start actually. Let's stop goofing around. Let's actually. That one. Yeah, let's say, I don't know, Pokimane saying something about Vive la France. I have this one. This one as well. It's maybe two.
Les gens qui parlent en français, ils ont tellement de charisme.
It's a sort of a Pokimane speaking French. I don't know why. I found some weird sound effects. I have this one. Classic. I have this one. But alors you are French. It's from an old movie. Classic. I have the Pokimane one and the Vive la France, kawaii.
Vive la France!
Alright, let's actually start painting because I can spend the entire night like goofing around with Stephanie. So, this would be just the worst concept ever.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
Alright. So how is everybody doing? The kid, I don't think, can they reproduce? Like, you're scaring me. You're actually scaring me. Oh my god. Oh, hi, Jeff. Wow, this lore is just too deep for me. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with such lore. Hello, Sheena. All right. Okay, this from the Omen. What is the Omen? All right. So here, technically, what I'm trying to do is just refine. Since I've changed the color now, I need to just refine the edges and all. Just do little tweaks here and there. And I hope is my face in front? You tell me if my face is hiding the painting, because I have this bad habit. Thank you, Gina. Oh yeah, I have emoji. I have a parent emoji, so you tell me if you want me to hide it, since it's not emoji wall. Yeah, I have the emojis, they actually pop naturally. I have natural, spontaneous emoji, but yeah. I think it's too early for emoji, don't you think? Nah, yeah, it's too early, I think, as well. I need to warm up. Nah, it's too early. Yeah, don't scare me like that, man. It's... You know, you know what I wish I had is a heartbeat sensor to know how much my my heart rate changes when it's emoji wall. I assume it's going like through the roofs. Emoji wall. I don't even know how I discovered this function. It's just something that's available as an option in my, you know, my streaming program. And I thought, well, let's do something. Let's mess around with it. I didn't know what I was getting into. I created a monster, and then I gave the power. I gave the power to my mods, and this was over, my friends. Imagine that the first time, I was crazy at the time, when I first introduced emoji wall for the very first time. It was full open with no no cooldown. It's insane. Insane. So basically anybody could have launched an emoji wall madness at any time, but back then, you know, nobody knew about it, so nobody knew about it, so I was doing okay, I guess. I survived. I don't even remember how people got to find out about emoji wall. I guess I told about it. So let's have a little project round. What are your current artistic projects, everybody? What are you working on? What are your what are you currently working on? Not necessarily right now, but what is your art project of the moment? By the way, using reference is cheating. Ooh, this one hurts. Working with Cody on random training sessions. That's nice. Yeah, the Discord has been very Discord voice channel has been really active. That's cool. The largest portrait I've ever painted is not really that large. I just aim to paint small works. Awesome. Well, good luck. Good luck. How big is it? Like the face? I think the face, what I have here is the ideal face. Like compared, if the face has approximately the size of the palm of your hand, like when you put the palm of your hand on your canvas, if it has approximately this size, it's good. All right, let's launch the conversation actually. Hello there. So coming back to the title of the stream, imagination is the key for artistic creation. Using references can limit or stop imagination, but can also enhance creativity. It depends on how you use references. And yeah, this is the big debate. Do you think do you work from imagination only, or do you work from references? The only problem with imagination only is like you're kind of in a void, and like sometimes you need to visualize things, and imagination is a bit of a collage of sorts. Sometimes imagination needs to be, you know, picking elements here, putting them together and creating something new. Like what I did here, I have a reference of my face taking this pose. Like here, I'm taking this reference here just to make it look more realistic. Then I change the features of the face, and then I add other elements like the hands, the machine, the background, the scenery. All the symbolism are stuff that I add externally. The only problem is that sometimes it's hard to work from imagination only, and a bit of help of a reference or two is a great, you know, you sort of gather elements and then you create some sort of a soup of imagination. It's more how imagination works. Like it's more a sort of a collage. But let's have a poll. Let's see how many people actually work from imagination, you know, alone. I'm gonna ask it like that. Do you sometimes paint from imagination alone? Yes, no. Well, let's see how many people can sometimes paint from imagination alone. So meaning with no references at all. But it's also like, even if you think like right here, I'm using a reference, and I would recommend if you want to make something look realistic, yeah, you need references. That's because there is just only so much that your brain can make up from out of thin air, but it's also a great a great way to you know, keep your imagination vibrant and keep the machinery going, well oiled, to sometimes have sessions when you do, you know, only imagination just for a moment. And that's also something that, even though, like, for my main work, I use mostly references that I combine with imagination. So my imagination, the work of my imagination here in this case, is mostly putting elements together and creating something new out of various, you know, references. But it's also a great way to push your imagination to a new level, to sometimes have sessions where you just let it run wild and let it just do its thing. And I think that the more you work with models, with references, and the more you can let your imaginations run free, and it will actually produce interesting stuff. Because if you never work from any reference at all, and you expect the imagination to, you know, directly just do something interesting, well, it's going to most likely be very abstract. So very hard to do something realistic with this, or something that, like, raw art or naive art is more what you'll have if you do this and never work from a model. Because that would be cheating. Some people think it's cheating, but it's really not. If you've never, like, I know, I think I heard this, but man, it's really so complicated. Just having a model doesn't mean that first of all it's easy, and doesn't let the imagination. I mean, to me, having a model is not an obstacle to imagination, but it makes the work more, you know, it's just more slow. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna catch up. I can't paint my ideas. That is hard, so hard. Yeah, which is why a model is sometimes, like, the idea itself. What is the idea? What's really inside of your brain? It's not like, oh, you have something here, just take it and put it on the canvas. It doesn't work magically like that. I don't really enjoy watching streams, but I'll definitely be back for more of these. Keep it up, sir. Will do. Alright, I don't believe in restricting art to imagination only. Sometimes in your imagination you miss things that can add largely to you. Mr. Painting of Painting. What? I didn't get the last part. Oh, the misspelled on that. Lol. I'm too lazy to look for references, but I draw way better with a photo. I do things the hard way. Well, when I'm talking about references, that's what I'm talking about. That can be a photo. It can be it can be an actual object. Like, you take an object and you just put it in a still life setup, and that would be your reference. Reference, when we use the word reference, it's mostly for reference image, so it's normally something printed, but you know, it's hard. Concept, composition, and references are necessary, especially for lighting. I agree. Somebody speaking Russian, I don't understand. Sometimes the reference was the moment of inspiration. I also agree, and using it as a foundation for composition to then use imagination to create interesting textures in the various aspects. Absolutely, I had this. Sometimes I have just a photo shoot. I don't know necessarily what the painting is going to be about. I have a vague idea. I'll have a photo shoot and I'll just ask my model to take various poses, and then I'll hit the right pause and I'll say, okay, that's what I want. And then I'll take different poses and I'll take a bunch of photos, and the photos are going to let me know how to conduct the painting. But it's not the photos, it's more the pose. So if I had an actual model posing, taking the pose, I would have the same reaction with the right pauses. Just when I'm doing complex pauses with models or with myself, because most of the time I use myself as a model. I don't care really about how the face looks. I can do that. But so most of the time I do photos, but this really the pose, the body move. It's almost like choreography. You want to have some sort of choreography. Drawing from imagination is fun, but something is always lacking. Very few people can remember what things look like from memory unless they always draw on the same things. Yeah, you have also an approach that's more structural, so you focus on the structure of things so that you can more easily draw from pure imagination, just out of your head, based on, you know, kind of a understanding the mechanics of perspective and shapes and volumes. I used imagination to paint my first oil paintings. I didn't know what to paint. I ended up being one of the best landscape paintings of a view from front door that I've painted to date. Oh, that's cool. Sometimes letting it run wild is cool. Should I still plan our art and talk for next Tuesday or just cancel it? Oh yeah, because next Tuesday is my birthday. So I have what I wanted to do is next week. Let me do the announcement now, actually. So next week I want to have a little birthday session with Discord, with the Discord community. So basically, instead of watching from here, you would be joining us and for a sort of a paint along. So I'm kind of preparing a little party stream for next week, but it would be Friday. So I think you can keep the art and talk, Cody, no problem. I think it could be fine. I might not be there, just that, but can I speak Arabic? No, I'm sorry, I can't. So that's the program for next week. Kind of exciting. All right, so let me bring back. All right. I need to start actually doing some things on this. So what I wanted was this. See, I just have edges here that, as we talked about, the reference is just, you don't have to blindly copy the reference. It's not like it's emptying the piece of its soul. The reference is helpful for light, for realism. You can do whatever. It's a birthday party, so yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna stick with the languages that I know how to speak. That's all. Maybe one day there'll be, AI translation, like direct AI. You'll hit a button and maybe it will automatically, you know, transpose everything I say in a different language. But at the moment, it's not an option. So I'm sorry. Teach me something. Teach me how to say oil paint in a language that I don't know, or any language that you know. So in French, oil paint is peinture à l'huile. Peinture à l'huile. Teach me how to say in a different language so that we learn something today and we go to bed less dumb that we woke up. Razm Zaiti. All right, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's my best attempt. Oleum pingere. So is that Latin? Hi, Anna. I did great. The problem with AI is that it fishes for other people's art. Yeah, that's the problem. They're stealing lots of stuff. And it's going to be a big problem. Yeah, we're not done with AI and problems. Spanish, pintura al óleo. I could have guessed this one. I know German as well, but I want to let it for a German viewer or somebody who knows it in, in German. Gemälde. 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 Oh yeah, that brush. It's a very cheap first price, like low price brush. Yeah, Latin is used to be kind of a big thing in France because a lot of our language comes from Latin, so it was kind of important at a time to if you wanted to, you know, study literature and all, and not only for religious reasons. I want to paint right now, but I'm doom scrolling and come across this. Is this a sign? This is a sign. Cheese and beans. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to replace doom scrolling with doom painting. Wow, in Lithuanian. It's tricky. Tapi by alienai. What? Alieniais daisais. Oh yeah, I agree, Socrates. AI stuff should be required by law to bear a big visible watermark, waste time even looking. Yeah, and you know, like I have recently in my, you know, basically my local government made this big, they have a local government magazine and they used an AI photo to to illustrate the cover, and the magazine was all about local producers, so local, you know, workshops, stuff like that. And instead of going to an actual local producer, they used an AI image. And I'm tempted to write them a letter, actually an angry an angry letter saying, come on, you can't do that. Like, I mean, cheap YouTube thumbnail, okay, I guess, or Twitter using an AI image to illustrate a Twitter post, okay, or experimenting with AI for creative reasons, given that you credit and you know that you don't abuse, and but like you're a local government in this case, you really have funds to pay photographers. This is really a shame. Thank you. Your work is beautiful. Thank you, Cheese and Beans. And yeah, I'm sure you'll be painting something amazing today or tomorrow. No hurry, but hey, you can also join the Discord for your daily dose of motivation. You can there's very often you know, genuine work sessions, like people gather in the voice chat and just work together. Did that yesterday, actually. It was fun, you know, working alongside. And most of the time, you know, if you're shy and if you know, you want your alone time, you don't feel that you have to always be interacting. Most of the time, I was there yesterday, and it was mostly everybody was dealing with their stuff, focusing on different kinds of stuff, and from time to time talking, bringing a point of discussion, just asking for advice, you know, talking about random art stuff. So mostly good vibes, and I encourage everybody to be a part of this amazing community today. You know, I've been a part of lots of Discords, and really I find it really cool how active it is. maybe it's still because it's kind of a, let's face it, it's still a kind of a small Discord, so it's not overcrowded. So now is the time really to join. Like it still has the right spirit of a small community where people know each other and they kind of know, like people genuinely know your art and know what kind of art you make. And when you post something, everybody say, hey, that's really you, I like it, or hey, you changed your style. Like people know and remember what you post. That's pretty, it's saying a lot. Florent, are you using any medium to shorten the drying time? And have you ever used liquid? So yes, I'm using a medium right now. And this is this one. Hold on, once the text disappears. All right, so this is this one. It's 30% linseed oil and 70% mineral spirits, but I have like various ratios. One is 40%, 50-50, stuff like that. But for this layer here, using this one, still a medium that I consider rather lean medium. And have I ever used liquid? Yes, I have, absolutely. It's good. It's a very good medium. I recommend it, but I don't like it. And I'm often asked why, and I only have one thing to say when I'm asked why I don't use liquid, and it's jellyfish jam. Feels like jellyfish jam. I like jellyfish jam just as much as anyone else, but I'm sorry, I have a hard time painting with it. It's just too translucent, and the texture is not my stuff. I much rather have my paint kind of stiff and resisting the brush a little bit, so that it blends better slightly, rather than have it too fluid. I kind of like it when the paint is kind of buttery, and liquid just makes everything too fluid. It slides around. It's like holiday on ice with your brush with liquid. Feels like in Mario Kart where they have banana peels, like the brush is always like vroom. So it might be for you, but if you're like me, it's not. And you hurt your knee balls, and well, I mean, you're doing something here. It's not possible. Can't be. What is this? How can you be so unlucky? Oh my
Warning,
god.
emoji wall starts in 10,
Oh,
9,
emoji
8,
wall.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Let's go.
3,
I'm ready.
2,
I'm warmed
1,
up.
go. Emoji wall unlocked. This is chaos. Seriously, we need to break YouTube with
Let's
emojis.
go.
We have 1 minute. Let's go chat. We can
Nice.
do it.
It looks perfect.
Let's
Look
go
at that.
chat. Quick, spam emojis. We need to fill the screen.
Alright,
No
sorry if
time
I
to
miss
waste.
your message
I'm
right now. I
serious.
can't read.
We have to spam emojis in chat now before the
Can't
timer
read
runs
Roaring
out.
Star.
Hurry up.
I have to
Quick,
do emoji wall.
let's
It's a
go chat.
compulsion. I'm sorry. It's like I can't control.
We
It's
have
an
to spam
urge.
emojis in chat now before the timer runs out.
I have to. I
No
have to.
time
Look
to
at
waste.
that. Wow.
I'm serious. Hurry up. Quick. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat.
You know, I should prepare.
Hurry up. It ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Whoa. Look at that. It's like a firework.
Emoji cooldown.
Very good emoji wall. Very good. Congrats. Congrats. I love how there's still like, you know, the fallout with like late emojis floating still. I'm so delayed.
One of my colleagues was wearing sandals at work during Casual Friday last week. Frankly,
My first
I
live
still
stream
don't
here.
know how
What
I
did I
feel about
join
that.
into? Welcome here, Frauens. Welcome here. This is emoji wall. This is a tradition. It's been passed from generation to generation. We are preserving this madness. And yeah, it's like it does nothing. It accomplishes nothing. But I have the hope that one day it will break YouTube and we'll just find a gate to a different dimension, something like that. Well, I still hope. Still have this hope. You are now trained in the ways of emoji wall. Like in the Matrix, you know, when they teach Neo Kung Fu. I know Kung Fu, prove it. Steven is from Mars, is in Aries too. Today I had a sketch request by a lady that gets a taxi. I mostly know her. Offered to pay going rates. She always made some wacky comments about some of my stuff. What did she ask you to paint? A sketch. 105 poll votes. Well, we can end the poll, by the way. So people do sometimes work from imagination, by the way. That's the result of the poll, which is cool. Ouch. Oh, a sketch of her. Oh. Well, the phrasing was do sometimes, so even though I don't do it very often, I could have said yes, but I'm in the majority. No, should have said it differently. Should have phrased it differently. Should have said, do you mostly paint from imagination or from references? Would have made more sense. Could make a second poll, but let's be honest. Those stats are not really not proving any case. It's like work from whatever you prefer. It's the thing. Make art. That's the point. Imagination, models, use whatever you want. The point is to make the world not a better place, let's be honest, a slightly, try at least to make the world a slightly less ugly place by bringing art and beauty into this world. Hello, sir. Awesome, Claudio. So in India, yeah, you'll be right in the middle of the night though, so if you're still jet lagged and you can't sleep, then maybe maybe it will be easy to join then. Wow, a 12-hour challenge? That's man, I'll say hi. I'll come to encourage you. Looks like young Chris Hemsworth. Thanks. $12-hour, yeah. Sounds like a plan. I'm not doing it, but if you're up for it, man. Looks like the Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Nah, it doesn't have the feature of a Brad Pitt. Yeah, more like Edward Norton. So also in Fight Club.
Command, studio cam for 10 seconds.
When do you understand that what you painted is enough and does not need any further
Back to
retouch
normal.
or detail? Yeah, it's a tough thing to judge. Yeah, it's very tricky because it's not just it's not just the art, it's also your your state of mind, and your level of self-confidence. So there's a lot
Screenshot
going
taken
on
in the
that's
Discord.
not necessarily, if you have very low self-confidence, it might be very difficult to decide when a piece is finished. So that's actually one of the trickiest things, because you always have the impression that you can still work on a little bit here, a little bit there, because you've been doing it all over. So calling it finished is always a tough decision. Next best thing is to move on. Yeah, probably. But sometimes not. It's like, yeah, it's tricky. Finding the right balance. Most of my art is religious. I call it relational, though. Well, a lot of my art is also not necessarily religious, but it picks up a lot from religious paintings because I'm so inspired by Renaissance. And most of the art of the Renaissance was, mostly religious. Thank you, Estelle. It's a painting. They're religious, yeah. Selling to the church, I don't know how it is. But yeah, might be a good idea. One of my, but you kind of need to be, it's more like, I would say it's more Catholic kind of religious subject, is a virgin and child for me is the best, the best religious subject. Kind of, I don't know, a crucifixion I'm not so inspired. What else? All the stuff from the Old Testament, never been really super fan, but you could have, let's say, David and Goliath. Might be cool. This contraption is called a maul stick, and you can just simply make one. Just take a piece of wood, make a little hook like that. Can you see? And there you go. This is my big one because this is a rather big canvas, but can be done in with any size. I have several actually. It is absolutely boring, but I have company, Abby. So yeah, I'm good. I'm doing great. Yeah, a cane. A cane is actually a good idea. I've known people doing it with a cane. Yeah, Grandpa is going to fall on his... I'm not gonna say a bad word, on his butt. And a flashy purple cane. Does it need to be flashy and purple? Yes, it does. It does come from Malin. Oh, it needs to be flashy and purple, so it has superpowers, I guess. My bad. You know, if you have a wood next to you, you can get a stick, because it's a stick. Just get a nice stick and that's it. That's a stick. You need a stick. Just you know, treat it well. Remove the bits, remove everything, make it nice and polished. Let it dry, and that's it. Have a mole stick. Some people put a little ball of... Some people put a little ball of, you know, a ball of leather at the top, and the ball is supposed to rest directly on the canvas. I never really liked this, even though I still have the option to do it. It's more like that, like this. Imagine that I put the original design is that you can see, for example, you know, in Vermeer's The Art of Painting, it has like a little mole stick with a little ball, and you rest it basically on the painting. It's good because, well, with a small one, I can still do it with my design. I rarely do, because what I like is to let go completely. So since it's like that, resting, I can let go both hands. I don't have to worry about it. Having it like that is more kind of it's better if you're using it just occasionally, but not all the time. But I maybe it's a bad habit though, but for portraits, not when I'm more into this kind of phase where I need more precision, I tend to use it like almost non-stop. So having it with this design, this kind of hook design, is actually pretty practical. I've been enjoying this design more than the classic leather ball design. Where are you from? I'm from France, but we have people from all over the place here, from the United States, from Greece, from what? South Africa, we have. Oh yeah, the brook. The Brook Cormier technique. Huh. Okay. Well, next I need to do this this hand, this second hand. I need to finish. America. Yeah, it from this perspective it looks, it's a twisted pose, so it with this since you can see the bottom, yeah, it's kind of it's normal. This is always a part that's always been very fascinating to me, this kind of creating the impression of hair, especially short hair for men like that. Creating texture. Creating texture. So basically the skin is apparent because it's so short. Yeah, the elbow is resting on the knee.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
Thank you, Rena. See, I'm half using the color of the hair and also using the color of the skin tones. I'm trying to make this kind of pattern textures. You know, I'm trying to get it right. Alright, see you next time, friends. Sorry, had to experience emoji wall and...
Command. Switching to
I
palette
hope
for
you
10
don't-
seconds.
You don't get PTSD from it. But yeah, see you around.
Back to easel.
Thank you, HK. Nice chill vibe. Yes, it is. Inspiring vibe. We're going for inspiring. And the idea, thank you. The idea is to give everybody the, you know, the motivation, the inspiration to pick up a brush, pick up a pencil and start making art. Start making this world slightly less ugly than it was before. Because we can't necessarily change the world, we can't make it a better place, but we can at least make it slightly less ugly by bringing more art into it and trying our best to make this art good. Yeah, exactly, motivation at whatever time. Germany is an absolutely amazing country. Who said anything bad about Germany? Who said anything bad about Germany is going to have to deal with me, because it's a country that I absolutely love. Especially the city that I went to study philosophy, Freiburg im Breisgau. Such an amazing place. The Schwarzwald was amazing. Okay, nothing bad was said. Nice. Alright, we're clear. But yeah, Germany is a beautiful country. It's cool. I don't know how they cut their hair nowadays. I want to create this kind of effect. Look at how subtle it is, but I want to create this effect where it feels like there's more, you know. But I don't know if that's how they cut their hair. It's been a while since I've been to yeah, a nice fade, but it's been a while since I've been to a hairdresser, a barber, whatever you want to call it. Because actually I cut my own hair. So I don't know how they do this. And this would be the part where I'm doing from imagination. Here is where you can make him older or, you know, younger, depending on how much you push this line. You want to make him younger, you just go and put the hairline right here. If you want to make him look slightly older, you push it slightly, because that's what us men have to deal with. It's aging and hairline receding and balding. Oh, absolutely! Like the hairline is a super huge sign of youth for a man. But that's okay. I mean, we can't complain. This is pretty much the only inconvenience of being a man, is having balding, and even there, like, it's mostly genetic. Like compared to women, we are really lucky. We have no inconvenience to worry about. Like, for example, my wife and I are expecting a baby, and the pregnancy has been going absolutely well for me. It's I have nothing to complain about. But man, what would we be without you women? Yep, little baby due in June. Oh, in one day, it's going to be a short day then. One day to visit all these countries. Okay, I'm not as much of a fan of this fade. Even though this is something that I could see on a dude. I'm not a big fan, so I'm gonna make it shorter. So to make it shorter, you have to make less dark hair. Basically more skin tones. It's very easy. And just texture. Don't think about hairs. Just think about textures. And to make it shorter, you reduce the hairline visibility. So you drop the hairline like that. And you bring more skin tone, still always following the volume of the skull. And you bring it like that. See, because there's more skin tones visible, so it means that there's less, the hair is shorter. See, I'm just slowly bringing skin tones in, and all of a sudden it feels like the hair has been cut shorter. It's very easy and it's very fun. I mean, we recommend to just try to do a portrait of a man with, you know, short hair like that. Very short hair, like military style, you know, haircut. Just to have fun with this type of texture. It helps you really understand a lot about you know, skin tones and hairs. And what you want to do is, you know, you follow the volume and where the spherical shape of the skull recedes. So on the edges, you can make it darker because the short hair is so it appears darker because it's turning around. So it makes it visible at an angle, and this angle makes the outer contour darker. Will you give him wrinkles? So I went for a more, I went for a slightly younger character. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make more worrying wrinkles than aging wrinkles. So more expressive than age-related wrinkles. So many Germans, that's nice. Okay, now another great trick for hair is to have a slightly splayed brush like that. You know, so always keep your old brushes. Like, in reality, I never threw away a brush, and I have tons of brushes that are way too old to be used in general purpose cases, but I always keep them because they can always work for something. Like, even if you have a brush that's super plain, it can be a good, you know, it can be a good blending brush or a good hair and texture brush. So this one is slightly splayed, but it's actually very good for, you know, this kind of stuff. Just following the volume of the skull like that, creating tiny textures. Oh, yeah, most of my brushes are synthetic, yeah. I have two naturals. This one is a hog bristle. I very rarely use a fan brush. You know why? Because they're such a pain to clean up, and because if you don't clean them up, they stack up and they're unusable for the rest of their life, and they're super tricky. Like, you need to clean them very thoroughly at the end. So instead of a clean brush, what I would use, instead of a fan brush, I would mostly use something like this or like that. Like this, I can use this exactly how it uses a fan brush, like, you know, bringing big, you know. Yeah, it's exactly like a makeup video. And actually, you know, they sometimes, you know, they share their, you know, I don't know, makeup cutters, and this is pretty much exactly what we have here. I do share a lot of commonalities with makeup, you know, people, except that I'm making the cutters myself. I don't know, can you make your own makeup, like make your own cutter? They might actually need cutter knowledge to just get the perfect, you know, skin tone. Hello, drawing. Did Bob Ross ever come by? No, no memory of Bob Ross popping up again. Just this one time. Tell you, maybe it was a ghost. I'm alright. There's not many people, so today I can interact a lot. Like, sometimes I miss a lot of messages, but it's been rather quiet. 95 people at the moment. Rather quiet session, but perfect for discussing. You can make your own makeup cutter. Oh, nice. Okay, so aha, that's the big question. How about AI for reference? Interesting question, because indeed, well, there's all the ethical dilemma about where does the AI find its sources. That's the big thing. Is like, if the AI is clean in terms of not stealing from other artists, let's assume that it is. Would that be okay to then go ahead and just use AI for references? I think yes, if it was clean and perfectly ethical, let's say mentioning artists that they use as sources and, you know, not just stealing and stuff like that, would that be okay? Yes, but in how, in what respects and how much would be okay? Like, how much of AI could you just ask an AI to make a model and just make a perfect carbon copy of the AI image? Would that be art? In this case, no. So there is a limit, but to find references that might be hard to capture with a camera, for example. So instead of using your own camera, trying to take photos of your model, instead of making your own, you know, montage, your own collage of images, you could ask an AI and use the image generated by the AI as a model for various elements in your painting. And I have experimented with it. For example, the machine that I'm using here in this painting, I have asked an AI to produce some kind of
Command.
machine.
Zooming in for 10 seconds.
To be very fair, the results were really not great. So but it's
Zooming
kind of
out.
Just like the rest. It kind of gave me a sort of something to start with, and from there I worked with my imagination. I came up with a composition of my own. But you know, as in my opinion, as long as it's just you use AI just like you use photography, and in my opinion, with when it comes to AI and how transformative it is going to be for painters like me, like you and me, it's going to be as transformative as photography was back in the days in the 19th century when it was first invented. So it's going to be very transformative, game-changing, but yet for us painters, we can still keep on doing the same stuff. And it's not going to be completely life-changing. It's just going to be another tool in our repertoire, basically. Like before, painters could only work from life, and after the invention of photography, painters can also work from photos. And soon, when and if AI becomes, you know, clean and more ethical and more, you know, something that I think we're going to use it a lot more in the future. Maybe, I don't know, not sure, but we'll see. Then in that case, it will become just another tool, just like photography. So you'll have your, and I think it's going to be all integrated. Let's say it's going to be integrated in something like, imagine an option in Photoshop that sort of, you have your photo and you have an AI tool integrated in Photoshop that sort of transforms the photo in some way. So you're like, oh, okay, give me a red dress for this model, and then the AI tool will just give it to you. I think they're already doing it, but it's going to be much more, it's going to be available on a much wider scale. And when it comes to this point, yeah, to me, it will just become another tool, like a very boring tool, just like photography and the rest. And there's going to be some other problems with AI and all. That's not the point here. What do you think about Bob Ross saying happy little accidents? It's great. It became a meme, and I think it makes people more confident. Find it fascinating. I find fascinating also how AI is capable of creating incredible images. The artist coming up with the prompt, yeah, I don't know. It's mostly the programmers of the AI that make all the work, and if I'm amazed by the creativity, I'm amazed by how some devs were capable of producing something like that. I'm not impressed by prompt using. Like, okay, you're capable of using prompts, but yeah, it's not amazing. What's more amazing is the ability of the devs to, you know, okay, I had to stop for this. Since the large canvas, nah man, you should work on your own work. You don't make a master copy on a large canvas unless you have the original and you're just, you know, you're really hardcore going to the museum and trying to make a 1-by-1 replica. But here I think you should just use your own design. I think it's more deserving of the investment in the canvas. But just maybe this time try to make a sort of a more in-depth project with, you know, more preparation. Just try to not ruin it. So just don't rush it, because on a big scale, you know, you want to have a little bit more prep. Yeah, master copies are something more on the side, let's be honest. Something less important. You deserve to save your best materials for your own. your own original work. Okay, so this dude has a face now. Hooray for this dude. Let's bring it up and work on the hand. Sorry for the noise. Cranking up, cranking up. Cranking up again. Yes. See, who needs a workout when you can be an artist? Oh, thank you, AD. Alright, so as you can see, I started in this one. I think I had a reference here. Again, I used my own hand, as you can see here. So you can see the original design of the hand, it was not the same position. So I changed both the position and yeah, so let's do this. The four hands, typically hands are a very strange combination of imagination and also idealization in anatomy. So what you don't necessarily want to copy the hands. You can't copy the hands 100% because the actual photo of the hands might not be the best looking version of what the hand could be. Sometimes you have to make kind of artistic choices and just change things to make the hand feel more pleasant. I'll make a 12-hour painting stream before the baby comes. My favorite type of art form, art styles, well, I don't know, my favorite type is the art that I make, I don't know, this kind of painting, which is a mix of figuration, imaginative realism, and a kind of Baroque inspiration. I like it, and I don't know, I still feel still my favorite thing to do, which is good because, well, ideally you want the art that you make to be your favorite kind of art to make. Thank you. I don't know if you can never do this. Maybe you never tried, but you don't necessarily need to try it. We all have our own style. We all have our unique approach. Are we doing a 3-hour stream? I don't know, maybe 2.5. We'll see. I'm just going to finish this hand. Let's say that. So once this hand is done, I will be done. Yes, they are. They're beautiful, aren't they? Flying proud. Yeah, they're very tricky. Just try to give them a bean shape. I started painting around 10 years ago. King sign. Nah. Should be alright. Need to find someone who looks like Jesus.
Command, switching to palette for 10 seconds. Back to easel.
Do you use Mac Pose paint? No. What's Mac Pose paint? I have no idea. Oh yes, I have. An infant. Babies. 4-year-old. 2-year-old. 1-year-old. All ages mostly. Been drawing some really old people as well. I like to include people of all ages in my paintings. Kind of, most of the time I'm telling stories, so.
Command, Zooming in for 10 seconds. Zooming out.
The big problem with hands is separating them from the background. It's better if the photo is yours. Definitely, I've never been a fan of like, I don't know, like taking a photo on Pinterest is really not the best thing to do. So you never know what's there, if there are copyrights. People might not agree. Well, I'll try to show you the whole painting when
Command. Zooming in for 10 seconds.
I'll try to show you the whole painting when I'm done on this part. Just need to finish this hand.
Zooming out.
Hey, Gear Rocker. How are you doing? A bit of all, like mostly synthetic brushes. I've been trying lots of brands before I found those who are decent for my style, and it's very tricky because it's all like about the kind of brush style that you have, and there's no one single, you know, better brush, because it all depends on what you do with it, how hard you press, how thick your paint is. So really I can't say what brand would be better. What I recommend is you go ahead and you just try one of each type. Every time you go to an art store, you go ahead and you try, you know, one of this brand, one of this brand. You just get 4, 5, see how they do. And if you find the perfect match for your style, just go ahead and buy a set next. Yeah, Art and Talk was yesterday, but you know, I think the Discord is more active at the moment, so just be on the lookout from time to time. There might be some people popping up in the voice chat. Like usually around the same time, the stream is active around this time here of the day. Is usually when things happen, like, well, at least it's when I know about it. Sometimes people hang out like later on. Sometimes early. You know. Well, you don't have to say anything. Most people get there and just work on whatever they feel like working on. So yeah, no pressure. Last time I was there and I barely talked. So, you know. Alright, so nah, sable. Sables are such cute animals. I mean, oh, they're so cute. How can you paint them? I wish there was a way to just pick off their hair without hurting them, but I don't think that is a thing. I think they take it all. Fur coat, yeah. Are you gonna be live tomorrow? No, I'm not gonna be live tomorrow. Tomorrow is upload day, so I'm gonna upload a YouTube video, like a regular video. You should watch, by the way. Yeah, I have water and food coming from my earphones. Okay, so now I need to make the hands dripping. So I need to create water texture. And it's very easy. It's just making it feel wet. You don't want to you know, make droplets. You just want to create highlights and make it super shiny. So just highlights, simply highlights. Like it's reflecting the light from all around the place. Just like water, reflective like water. The shoes, yeah, you'll see a part of the foot here, yeah. It's but I'm waiting to paint the ground before I do this. Thank you, Genies. Welcome to the community. You can also join the Discord if you're interested. It's really where all the interesting community stuff happens. Shit sign on the hidden cigarette. Maybe. So the water is glowing from the red source here. So you'll see. You'll see some red touches here and there. It's kind of the red light source reflecting in the reflective water. Can I say hi, Cadence? Hi, Cadence. Hi, Virgo baby. Hi, Emma. Oh, thank you, Emma. Do I ever use a dry brushing technique? Yes, but not as a... I'm not using dry brushing as a systematic technique. I just use it here and there. It's not part of a system. Ruth and Bose. Thank you, Mary. Favorite biblical story? I mean, my favorite is still the mother and child, so virgin and child. For me, that's still the best. But you know, something from the Passion is also like, you know, I love drama, so something from the Passion would be my second choice. No, I'm not using reference books, Molius. Look at that. Even better. I'm using my own hand. Why would you need a reference book when you can have your own reference? So always use your own hand, like especially for hands. Like for hands, it's very easy to understand how it might be possible. For the rest, you might want, you know, something, you know, an anatomy book and all. I don't think weed is a drug, man. I'm in my vegetable garden. I spend all my time pulling out weeds from all my beds. There's weeds all over the place. I spend my entire time pulling out weeds from all my carrots. especially the carrots are very sensitive to weeds. And yeah, it's I can tell you it's not an addiction for me. It's it's an annoyance. So no. But I don't use drugs. I mostly weed by hand. You know, keeping things organic. I'm playing. But weeds are annoying, though. What can I say? Oh, lotions and oils. Yeah, lotions. I'm not. My wife is way more into herbal tea than me. So if this is what it's all about, can't say much. Oh, poor you, man. Pen down to your flesh palette. Now you type exclamation point palette.
Command, switching to palette for 10 seconds.
Exactly. You got it. Oh, Cody got it. Cody got you. Thanks, Cody.
Back to easel.
The magic of commands. Like, with all the new viewers, a lot of people don't know about the commands yet. So a lot of people are very surprised that you can do that. All right, so now no tips, just enjoy. Just enjoy the addition of white in your repertoire and make sure that you don't get the bad habits of watercolor of not using white. Like, white is going to be an essential part of your oil painting journey, especially for skin tones. Like, this whole area here is almost like 90%
Command,
white.
zooming in for 10 seconds.
So yeah, I'm sorry, the zoom out section is not centered
Zooming
on the right
out.
spot, but not much I can do here. The best varnish, well, the one I like is Gemvar by Gemblin. It's my varnish of choice. Sorry. Yeah, but the white is definitely, compared to watercolor, the white is what makes all the difference. The thickness, the everything, like all these textures, these highlights, they're all made with the white paint. So yeah, that's what it's the game changer of opaque techniques. So don't rely as much on the translucency, and just have fun with opacity, and you'll see that it's actually fun to paint opaquely. Just remember that sometimes if the color is kind of, if you're losing the color, if with oil paint, it might mean that you need more opacity, whereas with watercolor you might want to go more for the purity of the brush stroke, you know, getting a very clean stroke on a nice wet surface, wet piece of paper. With oil, it's more, you want to grab more, like you spoon it up like that, you scoop a big chunk of paint and just apply it thickly if you're feeling weird about it. It might be coming from watercolor. If you're feeling weird, it might be that you're not painting thick enough for what oil needs. My first painting as a father, I don't know if I'm gonna paint a picture of the baby, because let's be very honest, babies, just when they come out, they're pretty ugly. They take a while to, you know, inflate into their perfect form. They take a couple weeks to get actually look good. I think they look much better around 2. That's when they really start to look like cherubs. For the first month, yeah, they look like tiny raisins. And that's pretty insulting to raisins, because no, that's not their fault. Like, they had a troublesome journey. Yeah, well, they're always adorable, but yeah, my favorite age for cuteness is like, yeah, 2 or 3 is like really when they start looking like angels, and they're, oh my god, they're so beautiful. My son is going to be 5 soon, and he's like, I mean, maybe it's because I love him so much, because I'm his dad and all, but he's just so perfect. And he really looks like one of those Bouguereau angels. It's, you know, he's really like the perfect Bouguereau. And yeah. Well, thank you, Amador. Be welcome here. Welcome here. Well, actually, yeah, a lot of people come here from the shorts feed because I'm streaming vertical. But and I'm happy that you're finding this stream entertaining. This is a place where we share about art, we share inspiration, we try to bring good vibes and make people want to make more art. Some tips on oil painting. That's a tough question. But I've got a channel full of tips for oil painters. But then I can't just give you one tip on oil painting or just like that out of my head like that. No. If you give me a more, specific question, I might respond like, how do you mix this or that, or how do you, but like just like that, no. Can't give you tips. Yes, I am from France. I'm from la France. Ah, la France. Oui, oui, la France. Ah, sacre bleu. Je suis baguette. Can you get the smooth texture? Yes, you can technically. It's just going to be more difficult because for figurative work, acrylic is not made for figurative work. I think the big strong point of acrylic is painting abstract, creating textures, stuff like that. If you're really into figuration, you kind of need oil. Let's face it. All right, bon appétit. It's not coming off his chest, it's coming from behind. I have the post to testify that it's an actual thing. Sorry, couldn't mute on time. Thank you. Whoa, fine arts restoration. I don't know about studying for restoration in France. I'm not sure about it, so I wouldn't have advice on that. Sorry. How do you say bless you in French? You say à tes souhaits, à vos souhaits if you're à tes souhaits, à vos souhaits, depending. Like this formal. Mostly self-taught. Yeah, self-taught for painting and all. No degree. Yeah. must have been Jeff. On my tip on skin tones, yeah, definitely. My tip is very simple: is yellow ochre and burnt sienna, or transparent iron oxide, transparent red oxide, whatever you want to call it. I call it burnt sienna, but you know. And yes, this is the best color for all pigments, all skin types. Amador. Yeah, good question. Well, you ask that to all the paintings that are in the back of my studio waiting for their time to be picked back up. That's usually what I do, is I'll switch to a different project for the time being and then come back later. And this one, actually, this very painting that I'm doing right now went through the very same treatment. I liked it at first and then I hated it. I left it on the side for a while and now I'm picking it back up. Wow, how can you have dinner so fast? It's impossible. It's not. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too French, but dinner should be approximately 45 minutes minimum. I don't know. Maybe we eat too slowly. Not sure. But how long is your dinner normally? But I mean, you're pretty young. I used to have like, I used to, you know, eat very quickly when I was your age. I have to say, I agree. When I was a student, I used to, you know, I was just eating on the go. So yeah. Oh, so this one, I think I started in June 2023. I painted it all winter, all fall and winter. It was in the back, and then I felt the urge to finally finish it. What's RBs? How long have I been a painter? People ask me when I started. I started 10 years ago, but I wouldn't call myself a painter, and I became a full-time artist 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Oh, okay, fast food. Oh yeah, so I understand why it's fast and makes sense. I'm self-taught. So I believe that art should have meaning. I think for mine, yes, I want meaning. For others, no, not necessarily. I'm not looking for anything. But mine, yeah, I want to have, not necessarily meaning, but I like to have some type of symbolism in my paintings. I love sushi. I love sushi as well. And my wife can't have it because she's pregnant, so we haven't had sushi for a while. And we used to make our own, which was pretty fun and actually very good. You just need to really work on making the rice right. But once you do that, it's amazing. But yeah, and I didn't say that it was vegetarian sushi that we did. So also the choice of fish, if you're eating fish, the choice of the fish is completely is huge if you want to make good sushi. So, but this wasn't a problem for us because we didn't. Best food is French food. What are you talking about? Why isn't that even a debate? That's obvious. Like, I don't know, why are we talking about that? We can end the debate like right now. Like, best food is French food. No, not snails. Oh, okay, if you take it like that, you win. But we don't just like seriously. Almost nobody eats snails. Nobody eats snails here in French. Yeah, almost nobody. I mean, I'm kind of worried for all those like farmers who, you know, farm snails, because once the boomer generation goes, like, nobody's going to eat snails. Like, what's good with friends is like you can travel around the country and each little area has its own specialty. Give a bit more tips on skin tones. Oh my god. Give me something like more specific, please, Gary. Like, not just tips in general, but like something, some point of difficulty, something to, you know, some specific issue that it might, you know, might focus on, because it's it's maybe too general right now. Could you explain how to get very deep skin tones versus very extreme? Yeah, I know it wasn't for you, but I was asking how to get very deep skin tones versus very pale. For the very pale, for the very pale, it's like mostly white. And to get a better feeling, maybe try whenever you can to replace white with some type of yellow. If you can, to just preserve, you know, kind of the punch of the color. And for very deep, you want to use a transparent, a dark transparent pigment like this quinacridone rose, for example. Let's say you have a black. Let's imagine that you have black. I'm gonna give you the palette. Let's imagine this black right here, very deep, but imagine it's very neutral black. What you want is take a transparent pigment like this one, and you incorporate it in your black like that, and you have a very deep but very chromatic pigment now. Or you can go for something like that instead of this quinacridone rose, a phthalo blue, for example. And this, you still have a very deep, very dark. Like, I'm sure that for the camera almost feels like a black, but when you spread it apart, you see how full of color it is. But this would read, if you paint it sort of opaquely, thick like that, this could read as a black. So this would be the secret to deep and dark color, is make them more chromatic. Even you can use ivory black, and ivory black is kind of boring on its own, but if you add a touch of a transparent dark pigment to it, you'll see it really transform and do amazing stuff. Can you mix green and orange? Yes, why not? Absolutely. Is this going to be a good mix? No. It's going to be kind of olive green. But you might need it. Might need olive green. Might be help. I use a traditional Zorn Renaissance palette, yellow ochre cadmium. Yeah, you can put that in the trash, Soleil. I'm sorry. This is a very, very poor and very limited palette. So if you struggle with this palette, just buy other pigments. Those that you have are good, but you need more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I have a very strong opinion on this Zorn palette because I think it sucks. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but the Zorn palette is just... The Zorn palette is just... I don't know. Yeah, it's helpful for studies, but it's not... It's not for general purpose painting. And my entire palette here is built... My entire palette is built on the ability to go all around the color wheel and always have a pigment in each big family of the color wheel. Here, the only one that I don't have is green. Normally I put my green here, but I don't have it here for this painting because I don't need green for this one. I know it. but there's one pigment for each family. I even have extra here in the orange for skin tones because it's more helpful. I have a blue, I have a cyan. Having a cyan is super helpful. This is phthalo turquoise. This phthalo turquoise is extremely helpful. Yeah, you want to DoorDash me some herbal tea. I want to, you know, it's tempting. I want to make herbal tea out of this phthalo blue because it looks so yummy. Can I lick it? Should I? It's just so yummy. What if I poison myself? It's just too yummy. Feels too pretty. Look at that. Well, the stream is going to end with, but yeah, no, I don't know. I'm gonna, yeah, at this. Yeah, but like nowadays, it's not that anymore. Most of the old, you know, original pigments, even like vermilion was toxic. Yes, this original emerald green. And they all have been mostly replaced for several reasons. Because they are toxic, yes, but also because they are more expensive. And phthalo, pyrrole can replace those. Yeah, some pigments, I mean, when they discovered like new chemistry techniques, they knew they could have replaced some of the old pigments. So they knew they didn't have to worry that much. Plus, making it not toxic was also a big. Nah, yeah, I'm not gonna change your mind on that. I agree. But I have to say that red makes blue feel better. Like, I like using red to emphasize blue even more. or red or any other color, but I think that, yeah. But I'm gonna say, as long as you don't, no, I don't know, maybe I said blue, but maybe I think more cyan. Yeah, I think what I would struggle with is purple, maybe, because there's just there's just very little use cases for purple. So I never get first of all, I never get inspired by purple in the first place. It's like I don't even think about using it most of the time. And I know there are some cool things to do. With purple, but I never really got, never really got the inspiration from this pigment. Purple. Are you team purple? All right, see you, Claudio. Yeah, I wish I use it more though. I don't know, I never find the inspiration with purple. So maybe it's a sign that I should not use it, but... Oh yeah. Quinacridone I don't consider purple though. So yeah. I see what you mean if you're talking about quinacridone, magenta. But for me, it's magenta, and magenta is not the same as purple. I'm talking more about purple, like, between magenta and blue. If I had to name my child a certain color, what color would that be? Cyan? Oh, you mean a pigment name? Like Viridian? Viridian is a nice name. Viridian. Viridian wouldn't be a nice name, I don't know. What else? Henza. Hey, Henza. Henza yellow. Pain. Pain. Are you going to call your kid Pain? Nah.
Command, zooming in for 10 seconds. This chat is super cool, best art community on YouTube. I'm having a great time.
Thanks, Steven. Max Payne. Yeah. What else? What pigment is there?
Zooming out.
Cadmium. Cadmium. Kremnitz. Kremnitz white. Kremnitz. Hey, Kremnitz. What else? What else? Scarlet? Yeah, Scarlet. Scarlet is an actual name. Rose. Easy. That's kind of cheating though. Almost cheating. Rose is almost like too easy. What else? Kremnitz for a white cat. Yeah, it's actually a good idea. You know, my sorry, my hard drives on my computer all have pigment names, and right now I'm using burnt sienna, and my other hard drive is burnt umber. I have lots of hard drives for all the video that I do. All right, so tour of the unfinished but not finished but soon to be, if I put enough work into it. Oops. Uh-oh. We appear to have a problem. Oh no, it's still good. Okay. Something disconnected, but I don't know what this is. I hope you can still see me and hear me. You're still here. Perfect. Actually, my whole computer setup got unplugged. So I was just on battery. Like streaming on battery on a laptop is not the smartest. So here is this, the 3 Danatis. Oh yeah, Alizarin. Alizarin is a nice name. Oh. Actually, I should drop it down. So you have some nasty glare here. Maybe I'll make the shadows less harsh on this part of the face. But the thing is, I don't have the reference that will allow me to do that. Okay. Lots of sci-fi. I don't know. I like. It's mostly coming from cities as background. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's not necessarily sci-fi. It's like you actually take a photo of a city, it looks like that. But yeah, the only sci-fi-ish element would be this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly where the inspiration came from. Don't have a specific sci-fi, you know, vibe for that. Yeah, the canvas is pretty huge. It's like this big. Hold on. Top is here, just above. So it's pretty big, and this is This big? Oh yeah, yeah. It's. I think it's my biggest canvas. Not the biggest. Well, I have like another one that was just as big as this one, I think. Yeah, kind of futuristic in a way. Came to him in a dream. Maybe. Maybe. Alright. Okay, my friends. This was a fun stream. Fun, relaxing stream. So, next... It depends. Between the palm and the whole hand. Whole hand is really the max. The palm is ideal. And depends how big your hand is. But yeah. Alright. I was saying I was going away, so I always respond to questions. Such a habit. See you next time, my friends. Next week will be birthday week. We'll have something awesome for the birthday stream. And yeah. Thank you very much for being here again, and see you next time.